Hi, I'm Yeltsin. Welcome to my channel. Here we discuss philosophy, psychology, menswear, cigars, fitness, and the finer things in life. I'm starting this channel as a way to document my own thoughts and to brainstorm ideas. We live in a society right now where we constantly consume. On the way to work, we consume media about celebrities, gossips, certain countries fighting each other. And as we go to work, we consume more information about the company, about clients, about the economic and political climate. At the end of the day, we turn on TV or Netflix and we consume more ideas and more media. We no longer understand or know what we know anymore. We cannot think for ourselves. We know what Donald Trump says. We know what this celebrity says. We know what this political figure says. We know what this influencer says. But we no longer know what we think or what we believe in or what ideas we have. I used to journal and meditate every single day, but I haven't been good with those habits over the years. I really miss those moments when I would spend hours in an Enoteca in Florence, having a honey walnut crostini and a few glasses of wine, journaling my own thoughts as I people watch. I miss those moments, and I'm forcing myself to start this channel so that I could think more for myself again. It's a very powerful thing to be a producer of ideas rather just as a consumer of ideas. I usually start these videos without any scripts, but I might have a general theme that I want to discuss for a day. And I just turn on the switch and started recording this video without any former things or ideas planned in mind. But I guess I'll begin the first episode, talk about Memento Mori. I think about this every single day. Memento Mori means remember you will die. If we remember we will die, we'll live life more authentically. Society, family, the world has a blueprint for us. How we should live, how we should love, what values we should believe in, even what hobbies we should have. You see, when people achieve certain success, somehow they all like the same things. They all like to play golf. They suddenly like watches. They certainly like certain handbags or certain fashion trends. And people lack individuality. People lack their own character. I love Bespoke. I love everything made for me to be a certain way because nobody fits anything off the rack. Same for my life. I want to have a bespoke life, whether that's for work, for love, for my hobbies, how I see the world. I cannot see myself living according to a blueprint that I was bestowed upon. And knowing that you will die, constantly reminding yourself of that, makes you realize that nothing matters. You are the one who owns your time, and you're not responsible to anybody except for yourself, to how you live. Mark Twain said, "We regret the things we have not done more than the things we have done." Or on our deathbeds, think about this. Would you regret the things you have not done or the things you have done? I don't like the idea of what ifs. What if I asked someone out? Or what if I started that business? Or what if I traveled to that country? Or what if I told my mother I loved her more? So knowing that you will die, first of all, you have less regrets and you'll live more authentically. Second of all, every little hardship and risk in life would seem painless and minuscule compared to death. Because death is the worst thing that could ever happen to a person. And let's say if we break our leg or we failed a business, we went bankrupt, or we broke up with somebody, the pains are so small compared to death that in the grander scheme of things, you know you can push through and keep going on. On the same note, the risk you take day to day will seem minuscule compared to death. Because death is the worst thing that could ever happen, and it's a guarantee everyone's gonna die. What sort of risk do we have in life anymore? Because if we start a business, worst case, it fails. If we ask someone out, worst case, we get rejected. But what risk is there? There's no risk. The worst risk is already guaranteed. Death is already guaranteed. So why are you scared? Go start that business. Go travel to that country. Live for yourself. And also thinking about thinking about death and knowing that we'll die will give us so much more clarity on what we actually want in life, the person we want to become. I love the idea of, I oftentimes ask myself this, at my own funeral, what would people talk about me? What would people write on my obituary? And I would sort of work backwards to see how I need to live my life right now to be in that spot in a funeral when people would talk about my life a certain way. And that will give us a lot more clarity. If you have a big dream right now, go chase it. Once you realize that you're gonna die, you will step out of that comfort zone because there's no risk. The worst case is that you're gonna die and it's already guaranteed. So why be scared of it? Go take that risk. I'm telling you this as I'm telling myself this. As I said, this is just a journal of my own ideas. And don't have any regrets. I hate the idea of what ifs. If I'm gonna do something, if I want to do something, I'll do it. I don't care if I fail. Like I said, the worst case that could happen is that you might fall, you might get hurt, but the pains are so minuscule compared to death. And if you're young, you might feel the pressure to live according to a blueprint, to achieve the success or status symbols that a lot of your peers would strive for. But life is three-dimensional. It's qualitative, not just quantitative. People usually measure success with the same ruler. It could be financial success, status. I want to be the type of person that achieves competence and excellence across multiple fields. I want to have a six-pack, dress well, look nice, travel the world, while having my success in my business and investments. I don't just want to be known for one thing, just known for my business acumen. I want to be that person who can discuss philosophy with an academic. I could talk about history of a certain country with a local scholar. I want to be that person who could discuss music, discuss Vivaldi, discuss Chopin with a musician. I want to be able to discuss macroeconomics with investors, with entrepreneurs. I want to be able to travel, live, love, and have passion in life. For me, it's more impressive to accomplish a moderate high amount of competence across multiple fields, across martial arts, music, taste, business success. That to me is more impressive than just being good at one thing, maxed out. People often say that jack of all trades, master of none, but they forget the last part, which is, but better than master of one. So the whole phrase is jack of all trades, master of none, but better than master of one. I strive to be as complete of a man as I can, as complete of a human being as I can, to taste all five senses, and to have accomplishments across a wide range of fields. I think this sets a good tone for my channel. Like I said, I didn't have a script. I'm just going with the flow and sharing my ideas of the day. I hope you enjoyed my ideas. Again, welcome to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe and share for more. Love you all. Thank you.